I mean, you got to love Joe Burrow. This guy, this cat's got it going on. I mean, that exchange with the press yesterday, going over the movies and going over the TV shows he was scared of as a kid. And listen, I would get nervous watching those movies as well. I mean, that's great. Scared of that, but not scared of Pittsburgh. You got to love the swagger from Joe Burrow. This is Joe Cool. This is what we've seen all year in Cincinnati. This is a guy that we saw having the greatest season ever in the history of college football last year at LSU. And Joe Burrow and his weapons, listen, I expect them to do some damage against Pittsburgh. Seriously, Pittsburgh has the best defense in the National Football League, but you could throw on them. And I think that, without question, Burrow's going to be able to do that. Look, I'm concerned about the health of Joe Mixon. I'm concerned about the offensive line. Pittsburgh's pass rush, incredible. I mean, Joe Burrow is not scared, and I love the fact this is his first introduction to the rivalry that is Pittsburgh versus Cincinnati. But every single time Joe Burrow plays football, including this Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Bengals have a great opportunity to win. This is my entire take when it comes to Tua, and I'm staying very consistent. The minute Tua is the best quarterback for the Dolphins, whether that's week 1, week 6, as long as he's healthy, and again, he passed the physical, you don't worry about injury. You don't worry about 2021. He needs reps. He needs to play to become better for 2021. We're going to see more Tua than Fitz starting for Miami this season, and I can't wait for it. Listen, that's from late July, and we absolutely positively nailed it, and so did Brian Flores. And listen, Tua Tagovailoa, no surprise, he's been great, and he was sensational against the Arizona Cardinals, and he was always going to be the starter when he was healthy and he was ready. It was that simple. And I think if anyone was trying to make this about Ryan Fitzpatrick or anything else, weren't paying attention. And look at how flawless he's been. That's what's on your screen. Flawless. And I think the Miami Dolphins, who have 5 wins, can absolutely hit 10. And that includes a victory against Justin Herbert and the Chargers on CBS this weekend. I am so fired up for this matchup. You know, I thought there was a realistic chance that Miami was going to take Justin Herbert, and that's not a knock in any way, shape, or form for Tua. I love Tua. I'm obsessed with Tua. But I think the better quarterback of the two, Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is absolutely dreamy and having a better, more dominant statistical season than Tua Tagovailoa, but he also has more losses because he's on the Chargers, and they have just been dreadful at reinventing ways they're going to lose ball games, including the last 2. Literally on the last play, you can't make it up. This is a game that Miami should win. Better head coach, better defense. They're going to be linked forever. Pick number 5, pick number 6 in the 2020 draft. I am so fired up to watch them grow. They're both going to be stars. I think that Herbert will eventually be the better quarterback. It is right now. But Tua's going to win a ton of games, including Sunday. Time right now for Needless to Say. Oh, man, needless to say, Josh Allen loves Buffalo, and Buffalo loves him back. And this is really a special story. Josh Allen's grandmother passed away on Saturday, played brilliantly on Sunday, and a local children's hospital that Josh does a lot of charity work for, they had a charity event on Twitter where they raised a donation of close to $300,000 in memory of Josh's grandmother. And Josh is having an MVP season. He's entrenched as the face of the Buffalo Bills. He's elite. He's a superstar. We've said it forever. But what gets me is that incredible relationship between Allen and the city, Bills Mafia and Josh Allen. And let me tell you something about the Buffalo Bills. It's a dominant football team. 7-2. They played brilliantly over the weekend. When you take a look at everything that transpired with regards to the incredible victory against the Seattle Seahawks, The defense was tough. The defense was clutch. I think Buffalo and Arizona, it's the game of the week in the NFL this week. I can't wait for Kyler Murray and Josh Allen. Why would anybody pick against Buffalo and my guy Josh Allen? Throwing to Diggs, throwing to John Brown, the John Brown revenge game. Oh, Josh Allen is something special. Buffalo knows it, and Allen knows he wants to be in Buffalo forever. Here's Lamar Jackson talking about going up against Cam Newton. Needless to say, Lamar Jackson's going to be Superman going up against Cam Newton and the New England Patriots on Sunday night. And he better be. Listen, Joe Flacco, who Lamar Jackson replaced in Baltimore, just torched the New England corners. Joe Flacco. So there's a lot of pressure on Lamar, and I think he can do it. This better be the Mark Andrews game. This better be the Hollywood Brown game. Cam Newton is not the player that he was. Let's be honest. Let's be crystal clear. And I think that Lamar needs to absolutely dominate. He's going to outplay Cam. I think Cam is going to be miserable, dreadful, going up against that outstanding defense for the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson was talking to our good friend Rich Eisen on his radio show, and he said that the offense is predictable and the opposition knows what's coming. Kind of an indictment of Greg Roman. A lot of pressure on Lamar for this weekend. Matchup-wise, I think he will and he must deliver. I am so fired up for the Thursday night football game tonight. A superb matchup with the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts. And I'll tell you why I like Tennessee to win. Because of the guy that you just heard from, Ryan Tannehill. This is a tremendous advantage for Tennessee at the quarterback position. Ryan Tannehill at this stage is much better than Phillip Rivers. But I'm really fired up for the strength versus strength because Tannehill, A.J. Brown, they're going to do their thing. Derrick Henry and his 843 rush yards and 8 rushing touchdowns going up against that stingy Indianapolis Colts defense led by Darius Leonard, led by DeForest Buckner. That's why I love sports. This is going to be an epic matchup. But I'll tell you, I would never go against Derrick Henry, especially at home. But this Colts defense, they are legit. And you have to know that they're salty because they were absolutely superb, as we predicted, in the first half against Baltimore. And you saw them just absolutely dominate and humble Lamar Jackson in that first half. But the offense couldn't pick them up. There was that terrible call on the interception. Sometimes stats lie. These stats do not. This defense is superbly coached. They are excellent at every single level. And this is a gigantic football game. Listen, Tennessee wins this game. They're going to go on and win the division. I think it's going to be gigantic. Indy wins this game. We're looking at a tie when you look at the division. We're looking at ramifications for seeding for the wild card, who's in, who's out as we speak before the game. Indianapolis is currently not a playoff team when you look at the top 7 in the AFC. This is going to be a barn burner. It's going to be a show. And I like Tennessee because the Titans have the better quarterback. I got a lot of stuff to get off my chest, and J.J. Watt seized the moment to talk about the Houston Texans' awful termination of Amy Palcic, who is the outstanding head of their public relations staff. And Amy's just an absolute gem at her job, and how she got fired before Week 10 in the NFL, that is terrible. There's a bigger picture here. There is so much wrong with the Houston Texans. They have become one of the worst organizations in the NFL. They belong in the dumpster fire with the Jets. They belong in the dumpster fire with the Lions, with a Dan Snyder-led Washington team. It's pretty crystal clear J.J. Watt was livid, and J.J. Watt wants out anyway. That has been clear since he spoke to the press after the trade deadline. And he's right. Amy is fantastic. Amy will get another job in a heartbeat. And Amy was fantastic for the Texans. And it speaks volumes where the organization is and has been since Bob McNair passed away. Bill O'Brien wrestled full autonomy, and he did everything wrong. He had all this power. He fouled up the Miami trade. The Dolphins have the Texans' first and second round pick next year. Easy first guess. He fouled up Jadeveon Clowney. He fouled up the Chiefs game. Remember when Houston was up 24-0? I mean, think about that. It was like a lifetime ago, right? Made the DeAndre Hopkins deal the worst deal in the history of the NFL. Easiest first guess ever. They fire the well-respected head of public relations. They don't trade Will Fuller for a draft pick. J.J. Watt, the face of Houston sports, wants out. Deshaun Watson's going to be next. This is what happens when you don't have a real GM, a real head coach, an owner who gets it, and in any way, shape, or form, a damn clue. I feel better I got that off my chest.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.